welcome to our channel. This is our first video. We wanted to start with something that was more subtle to get to know us, because this is our first video. So we're doing a story time. This is story time of
This took place on May 26th of 2018. We lived, so obviously, judging by the title of this video, we didn't die, but we almost did.
So let's get started.
Oh, I hated that. Okay, wait. Okay, so like we said, this took place on May 26th of 2018. So there was a group of us, about 10 of us. We went to our friend's birthday party. It was around 6:30, 6:45 at night. So the sun was starting to go down, but not enough where it would be dark outside. So it was still fairly light. So we decided that we wanted to go to the playground right across the street from her house, because there was an elementary school right near her house. So we decided...
It was just down the street.
Yeah, it was
not right across.
Yeah, it was... Yeah. There was a playground down the street of her house where the elementary school was, so we decided that we were bored and we didn't really have anything to do because we hadn't done cake yet, but we were waiting for the nighttime to come. So we decided, hey, let's go to the playground, have a great time.
Yeah, so just in case it were to get cold, we all put sweatshirts on, and we were just kind of we were just walking, it was just casual. We were singing, we were dancing, we were just having a good time, yeah. And we get to the playground, and we're just there. Some of us went to swing, some of us went to the jungle gym, some of us were just some of us were tumbling on the grass. It was just we were all just doing whatever. The jungle gym was kind of separate from the swings, it's different sides of the playground. We didn't really pay much mind to it, but there was a car that was parked in a spot, and it was just sitting there, we were over it. It was nothing. It could have been a teacher,
Yeah, it was nothing
summer
weird,
work.
out of the ordinary. Still, school was going on because it was May.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing a car in the elementary school parking lot, it wasn't that weird.
No, it wasn't. And then the second car came, and they were both just small cars. It parked. The second car came and parked in the middle of the parking lot, not in a spot, not anywhere specific. It just parked there. And then the first car that was just it was just sitting there having a good time. It moved and it parked right next to the other car. So there were two random cars in the middle of the parking lot in May.
And they were just kind of in 3 parking spots each, but next to each other. So one car was facing this way, one car was facing this way. They weren't side by side, they were kind of close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And they were they both had their windows rolled down.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were talking. I think one person was on the phone to start with. The car that was originally there was on the phone. So we were it's just a car, someone's on the phone, it's whatever. The second car came, we were okay, maybe they got lost. And it was still a little weird, but not that big of a deal. So we were kind of minding our business. And all of a sudden we hear yelling. And we were why is there yelling in an elementary school parking lot? The people who were on the jungle gym, we started kind of paying attention to what they were saying, because
they were closer to the cars.
Yeah, we were kind of closer to the cars. So we hear the yelling from the two people, and it sounds like they're arguing.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded they sounded like they were angry, but not that they were unfamiliar with each other. It seemed like they knew each other and they were going to the same place. They were yelling about going to some party, but one of them kept saying how he didn't want to get arrested for bringing someone who wasn't supposed to bring or something.
Mm-hmm.
He kept saying how, yeah, I definitely don't want to get arrested. I'm not getting arrested tonight. So we thought it was weird, so then we started paying attention more.
Mm-hmm. We were listening in, but we didn't know if they knew. And then, probably 10 minutes after the whole arguing or whatever, there was this third car, and this third car was kind of more an SUV. And it just it came in, and it was kind of moving slowly, and it had its headlights on because it was starting to get darker, and it circled these two cars 3, maybe even 4 times. Not sure if it left. It kind of pulled.
It was behind trees.
Yeah, but it was facing us, so it was watching us.
Yeah. So we saw the headlights coming in from the trees because there was woods behind the school. That's how we got there, the woods. Mm-hmm. And then there was woods on the other side of the parking lot. So the car came in, circled the two cars 3 or 4 times, and then turned around and was facing us, but still kind of hidden. The only reason we could see is from the headlights.
Mm-hmm.
And so after that car moved behind the trees, the 2 cars moved deeper into the parking lot, farther away from us. Mm-hmm. So at that point we were okay, clearly they think we're listening, because I guess maybe we weren't being nonchalant enough.
Yeah, they were right. We were totally listening in.
Yeah. And then one of them got out of the car, and then the other got out of the car. And clearly they were, like, very familiar with each other because they started, like, wrestling, like, fighting. But, like, it wasn't, like, fist fighting or anything. They were just, like, pushing each other against the cars. And then they got back into their cars, continued arguing more. Instead of being separated on the two sides of the playground, we joined together back at the swings, which is the farthest point of the playground near, like, the entrance of how you get into the playground. So as the people from the jungle gym were walking to the swings to meet up with the other people, the car that was, like, facing us but, like, in the woods started moving again. The SUV started moving again. And it parked, there were parking spaces right near the fence of the playground, parked in one of those spaces right near the jungle gym with the headlights directly on us. As we were walking, we, like, behind me, I could see, like, the headlights pointing at, like the two other my friends that were still walking from the jungle gym. It was, like,
It was
super
creepy.
Yeah.
We were all, like, getting scared.
At that point, we, like, definitely knew, like, they knew we were watching.
Yeah, and we kind of wanted to get out of there as quick as we could, but without being suspicious. So, like, some of them who were, like, more scared and just, like, really, really over it, they started running back. I was kind of hanging back because I don't know if I wanted to see what was going to happen or if I was just stupid. But I, like, legit was just walking. And they were running and I was just walking.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave Abby behind. So I turned around to tell Abby, we don't want to be left behind from the group. And so I'm looking at Abby, and in the distance, I see the two other cars, the ones that were arguing from before.
Yeah, and, like, where they originally were both like this, they had turned.
They had turned.
Towards us.
Towards us, yes. And one car, the driver of the car, got out of the car. And I was like, okay, this is really weird. And I'm looking at Abby, and behind him, I see him walking towards Abby. So I start, like, kind of jogging, but, like, backwards. And I'm like, Abby, we need to run right now. And she's like, why? Like, we don't need to run. We're fine. And the guy starts running. I'm like, Abby, you need to run right now. They're right behind us. She's like, wait, what? So we start sprinting.
We start literally sprinting so
Literally,
fast.
I have never ran faster in my entire life. So as I'm facing Abby and we start running, I look back again and they're getting back into their cars. So, like, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, okay, maybe they're, like, backing off. They're, like, stopping. They like, don't think it's funny anymore because they were, like, teenagers, obviously. So we start running back to the house and we catch up with our friend. Like, guys, we saw them, like, start chasing us, like, on foot. And they were like, wait, what? And they were, like, super creeped out. So we were, like, goofing about it and we were, like, looking behind us, like, oh my God, what if the car just came, like, out of the trees, like, driving super fast towards us. Like, we were just joking around, and it was like,
and then it did.
I look back and I'm like, guys, that's the car. Everyone looks back, all, like, collectively. I just see faces on me as I'm sprinting. They start screaming and running. Oh my God, when I tell you we ran.
We ran.
The black SUV that watched us from the woods is speeding towards us in the middle of the road. Like,
it would have had to drive over the curb and through a little basketball court to get to the place that we walked to. So we know for a fact that the SUV, went out of the parking lot, like, up until, like, the main road, turned around, like, back behind the playground and onto the road that we were. All of that, and it must have been driving so fast because we weren't walking that slow because we were still kind of scared.
Yeah.
So we drove all the way around and back over to the road we were on, and it came out. We screamed and again, we're sprinting so fast.
Yeah. It was
God.
Scary. Like, my life literally flashed before my eyes, you know. We ran up to her house, booked it in the door.
How her road is this way. There's this road and then there's, like, the playground area. It continued along this road and it turned onto her actual street.
Yeah. That's when we started sprinting. By that point, thank God, we were, like, already near her house.
Yeah.
So we ran into the house. We were all like, oh my God, like, really freaked out. And we look out her window. We see the car slowly drive past the house that we had just ran into.
Oh my God.
They
they didn't come back for the rest of the night because, like, they knew we were in a house. Like, they're not going to go anywhere near the house with their parents or whatever. It was just awful. Like, I literally could have been, like, murdered. Like,
yes,
I could have been taken. We have some speculations about what they were doing. Okay, so there was one point when they were talking about a boy they didn't want to drive to the party. And then there was one point when they were talking about a girl. My guess is they're dealing with minors. So either they're in relationships with minors or they're just driving minors and, like, dealing with minors.
They kept saying, you know, like, I can't lose my license already. Like,
yeah,
I only have $30 for the week, so I can't pick up anything. Like, I can't pick up.
That's right. He did say that he didn't have any money for the week, so They were younger.
Clearly it was like illegal stuff.
Yeah.
If it wasn't bad stuff, then they wouldn't have cared if we heard it. Clearly it was something that we weren't supposed to hear. That was really scary.
That's our story time for today.
Yeah. So that was the time we almost got kidnapped and ran over by an SUV that chased us after we were supposed to hear what they were talking about.
Moral of the story, if you're scared, just
Yeah.
run.
Moral
Just
of the
run
story-
to where you feel safe.
I think our situation would have been very much avoidable if we just left when we had the inclination that we were uncomfortable. If you don't feel comfortable in a situation, get out of that situation.
Bye.
So yeah, thanks for watching.
See you next time.
Adios.
Adios.
Bye. Oh, I hate that.